Hey everybody, welcome back. Devin, the OG original Grognard in the house. Yeah, alright, that sounded cheesy. We may not do that again. Here we are back at our look through our playthrough Blood in the Dust from Dark City Games, written by George Dew. Normally I have a lot of things to go over because I mess up a lot of stuff in the previous video. This one I really don't. Just a couple things I do want to point out real quick. If you remember in the last video, my guys had issues with climbing down a cliff and everybody took damage. Well, what I forgot is one of my characters has got the medic skill. Let's go ahead and take a look at medic. Heal 1 damage point per medic level for damage sustained in current combat on a 3 IQ. Used after combat is over. Can be used across multiple characters. Now, I'm going to say that not just current combat, but anytime you take damage, because, you know, falling down a cliff, the injuries can be wrapped up, scratches and bruises and bumps and all that other stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and try to heal my people, because if we remember, everybody ended up taking damage from that. So you can make a 3 IQ test. I'm going to take a look at my character who's got the medic, Jane. She's got an IQ of 14, so it's going to be 3... versus a target number of 14 for each character to heal 1 level of damage. Okay, 8, okay, first character, second character, 9, 10, that's good. Third character, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's good. Fourth character, 9, 10. All right, so everybody heals up 1 point of damage. And so what, since George has said, since I've talked to George about this, and he says that he wants to keep the game as easy as possible, and if you need to house rule stuff, go ahead. I'm going to say that regardless of how many times in the future I may get into combat and these other guys may end up taking damage, they can't heal more than what they had going into the combat. Just makes sense, so that's how I'm going to, that's my little house rule for medic. Also, some of you out there may not really be too aware of how a choose-your-own adventure fighting fantasy game book style adventure goes. So, you know, I didn't want to try to reveal too much, but just give some people an idea of what we're looking at here. So, like, if you remember 001, this is where we first started out, yada yada. It goes through all the different explanations and tells which directions you can go, or you can explore, you know, the house, the barn, and then in parentheses it tells you which paragraph to go to. So it's real simple. Just decide what you want to do and go to that paragraph and continue reading on. There was something else, something more of a geeky weapons thing that came up. Someone, oh yeah, someone was asking me, since this is set in 1856, well before the Civil War, and the Sharps rifle was a breech-loading rifle, and obviously you can put out more ammunition than, you know, the muzzle loaders that both the USA and CSA used at the time. Why Sharps rifles were not used by the U.S. Army? They were in very small numbers. There was a unit of rifles with the 20th Maine at Gettysburg, and there were very, very few units. But for the most part, the Army, for both the USA and CSA, did not want to invest in the Sharps because they were afraid that the soldiers would waste too much ammunition firing very rapidly at the enemy. Yeah, that's kind of what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put as many rounds downfield as you can at the enemy. However, at the time, common military thought process and belief led the tactics to that no, you don't want your soldiers wasting that much ammunition for very little gain. However, you know, right after the Civil War, and you know, even 20 years later, I think that's when Rorke's Drift and the colonial wars, or not colonial wars, but colonial expansion into, as England was having problems with colonial expansion into Africa and the Boer Wars and the Zulu Wars, they used Sharps breech loaders. I think it was Sharps, and they may have used a Big Bess I can't remember. I never paid too much attention to Britain. I'm sorry, my English brethren across the waves. I just never really paid too much attention to what you guys do in your wars, unless it's against the French and Napoleonic. But whatever. So yes, that is for the people for the one person who actually got a hold of me and was wondering that. There you go. The army didn't think it was a good idea and didn't want the soldiers wasting ammunition. So if we remember, let's go ahead and bring up our fancy doodad little map here, and hopefully there'll be no dark spaces that I'm gonna have to run through and get eaten by a grue. What the fuck is a grue anyways? I don't know. Those things terrified me back in the day. We left off, we were at the canyon, which was paragraph 30. So let's get back into it. And as before, I'm not going to show you all the paragraphs because I don't want people, spoilers. Okay. Okay, once the party is recovered, you can continue up the canyon to the west, down to the east, or you can look around. We already looked around. We don't want to go to the east because that's where we came from, so we want to head to the west. So head to the west, and I think I've got my little arrow written there. Yep. So go to the west, and that will take us to paragraph 35. You're high in the mountains at the top of a dangerously steep canyon. Great, more canyons. The scent of fresh pine wafts through the air as a chill wind blows. A wide mountain lake reflects perfectly the peaks that form a bowl around you. If you have the equipment, you can go fishing. You can spend the night, or you can search the area. You can also climb down the canyon to the east. All right, so let's go ahead. We got a lake, and it's in the mountains. So yeah, we're gonna go some snow peaks, mountains, lake, and let's put a fish in there because it said I can go fishing. I'm not gonna draw a little guy holding a fishing pole. So, however, I do have the gear to go fishing because if you remember, part of my initial fishing supplies, or initial supplies that I purchased, was fishing line and pole ×4. Hey, what do you know? Something I did at the beginning actually turned out right. So we're going to go fishing, which takes us to 36. You break out your pole and line and settle in a level grassy spot to fish next to the lake. Check IQ, 3 IQ plus fishing. On passage, you manage to catch a number of beautiful trout, enough to feed the party for a day. You can cook the fish for dinner or fillet them to lay them out to dry. Okay, so I actually have 4 people who have fishing poles. So all 4 of them are going to attempt to fish. Check 3 IQ plus fishing. Okay, so I don't have anybody with the fishing skill. I don't think I picked the fishing skill with anybody. No, I didn't. So it's just straight up 3 IQ test. So we got a 10, 10, 12, 14. All right. So let's go fishing. Let's see, we got 7, 8. So there's 1 batch of fish caught. 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 batch of fish caught. Nope. Third person did not manage to catch any fish. And last one's a 14. Alright, so we got 3. Okay, the problem is, let's see. Enough to feed the party for the day. You can cook the fish for dinner or fillet them and lay them out to dry. You know what? Just because I'm very, very paranoid about things, I'm not going to fillet them to lay them out to dry because I have a feeling that's going to attract bears. Of course, cooking them up is probably going to attract bears as well. So I'm just going to cook the fish up for dinner. So let's go to 33. Okay, you scale the fish and cut them open, throwing down the guts and organs. Actually, I had to throw them into the water. If you have matches, you gather... I do have matches. You gather tinder and try wood, and within minutes, you have a nice fire going. Yay. Throw the fish in the pan. They sizzle, tempting. The aroma of dinner fills the air. Oh, friggin' grr. The dinner is so good that here we go. Every injured character recovers 1 damage point, and all is fatigue. With your stomach full, you have no choice but to camp here for the evening. And I do want to point out something else. You pick up these keywords every once in a while. So lure. So what we need to do is you need to write down those keywords. And the good thing is, every time you come across one of those keywords, it gives you 1 XP. So write down the keyword and mark that I got 1 XP for that. And everybody heals 1 wound. Yay! I'll go ahead. update my chart and table. And it says automatically that I have to camp for the evening. Now, the other thing I do want to point out is pretty much every time you visit 3 locations, you can only visit 3 locations in a day. So basically, we have the Smith Farm was the first location, the canyon was the second location, the lake in the mountains was the third location. So regardless, I would have had to have camped for the night anyways. So it's just convenient I did that, and that doesn't require me to use a ration because I went fishing and I caught a bunch of fishies. All right, so go to 34. You set up a camp for the evening between the green pines and the sandy bank of the clear mountain lake. The setting is awe-inspiring. Lake reflects the snow-peaked mountains and the evening sun soon to set. The view itself is worth 1 karma point to each character in the party. Yay! Bedded down, you fall into a deep, cozy sleep. Now, here's why we had to write down the keyword. If you have the plot word lure, go to 36. Otherwise, in the morning, you wake to a frosty cold, yada, yada, yada. But everybody gets 1 karma point. Okay, now a karma point, pretty sure you can use that. Yeah, you can just expend a karma point to re-roll 1 set of dice. So everybody's got at least 1 free re-roll that they can do. If you have plot word lure, which I do, go to 38. I have a feeling I'm going to be attracting bears. Yeah, I did. On the edge of your consciousness, you are aware of danger. You suddenly awake, reaching for your weapon. Before you can alert your companions, you see a dark shape ambling towards you. Okay, so now we have to go to the battle board. It says you were at I on the board. So let's go ahead and set up first person at I on the board. And it says the bear is at A. So where's my bears at? I know I've got some bears. Alright, so we've got a bear here. We'll stick a bear on A. The blue hexes at C are the lake itself, and the adjacent yellow hexes are the shoreline. As winter is approaching, the bear is hungry. It attacks the closest victim, hungry to feed its belly. If you survive, decide on a course of action, go to 39. So, let's go ahead and mark 39 down, just so I don't forget it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and write the stats down. So, if you can see the stats, so we've got Grizzly with a strength of 40, dexterity of 11. He's got a lot of hit points. IQ of 6. Attack of 3d6. Ooh, that's brutal. And hide armor of 2. Alright, so basically, yeah, his strength 40, that's how many hit points he's got. Dexterity is how he's going to hit. IQ, I'm not sure how. No, I suppose if I had the animal handler trait, I could probably de-escalate the situation. And his attack, of course, is if he hits 3d6. And hide, his armor is 2, so every 2 point, the first 2 points of damage to him I do to him are erased. So now we're basically in combat. When my people set up, say you're in A, so you can set up your people. Okay, 1 person, or in I, the bear's in A. Everybody else sets up adjacent. And the bear is at A. We're going to stick him right there. Shift the camera a little bit over. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start off with initiative. I should probably point out, what is the bear? The bear has got a dexterity of 11, so that means his move is going to be 5, because your move is always half your dexterity. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he's not going to get to me in 1 turn. So go ahead and do initiative. Both sides roll a dice. There are special skills that allow 1 person to steal initiative from the creature, or you'd be able to, have your side go first. I don't think I have any of those skills. Let's see. Riding, climbing, driver, riding, locks, riding, leadership, charisma. No, I don't have any of those skills. All right, so basically initiative 1d6 for both sides. We're going to go black for the bear. And 5-4, so the bear is going to get to go first. He's going to go after the closest person. So that's actually going to be D, who is John Wayne. He's the guy with the 2 Colts. So his movement is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we did make it. He made it. Oh, so he's going to attack. Since there's no special attacks that the AI was written to do, it's just going to be a basic swipe with its claws. So I'm surprised there wasn't an option to try to throw food at the bear to get it to go away. And here I was thinking that drying out the fish would attract the bear. No, cooking the fish attracted the bear. Why do I have a feeling that it would have attracted the bear regardless? I have a feeling. All right, so his dexterity is 11. No modifiers that he's undergone or anything like that. So 3d6 against 11. We got 10, 11, 12. Good, he missed. Because his damage of 2d6, especially, or 3d6, especially in a non-fantasy setting, can be rather deadly. Because in a fantasy setting, I got a cleric, I got heal spells, woo, throwing heal spells all over the place. All right, so now I can do pretty much everybody in whatever order I want. Is basically move, then an action. So... one thing I could have done, I was kind of forgetting this when I was doing the thing in the lake, is that when I was attacked, I could have tried to dodge. And if I'd have dodged, I could move 1 hex away, could have avoided the attack, but I would have given up my next attack. I got to remember that. That's one thing I keep forgetting to do, is that there are some counter actions that the characters can do, and the monsters, I assume as well, if it's written into the AI in the scene. All right, so anyways, he's going to go ahead and take a step back, and he's going to fire. You know, he's got 2 pistols, so we're going to say he can, and just because I can house rule it, because George said I could, he's going to be able to fire. He's going to dual wield, and he's going to fire both of them at the same time. But I am going to apply a -2 to hit on that just because he's using 2 weapons. So basically, it's going to be a dex check. So his dex is 10, but he's got pistol, which gives him +2 to either hit. He's got 2 levels in pistols, so it's either +2 to hit or +2 to damage. So basically, I'm gonna, and you choose before you roll to attack. So I'm actually gonna apply that to hit. So that negates the -2 penalty that I'm giving myself for dual wielding the Colts. And like I said, this is just a house rule I'm doing. The rules don't have any rules in there for dual wielding. This is what I'm just applying it. So I'm going to roll twice for the pistols. First pistol, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's a miss. Second shot, or second pistol. That's a miss as well. All right, so we got A. He's got the sharps. Clint's got the sharps rifle. Now he's got a dexterity of 12 and a rifle +2. I am going to apply his +2 rifle. 12. I'm going to apply that to hit. So I need 14, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a hit. The damage with the sharps is 2d6 +1. So we get 9, 10, but he's got hide armor. 9. So the bear takes 8 points of damage. Go ahead and write that down. You remember, he's got strength of 40, so that's how many hit points he's got. Next is going to be Annie, and she's got the shotgun, so she's just going to stand. Now, I'm going to say she's got the shotgun, double-barreled, so she can then shoot it twice before having to reload. There are no rules for unloading both barrels at the same time. I don't want to try to figure that out right now, so we're just gonna do 1 barrel at a time. Her dexterity is a 10. She's got a level 1 in rifle. She's gonna apply that to hit. So I need an 11. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a hit. 3d6 damage. Yeah, shotguns are pretty brutal. 4, 5, 6. Not when I roll a bunch of 1s. So that's 6 minus 2 for the hide is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then our last character is Jane. Now these are non-passable, so she is going to go right there, and you can't shoot through one of your own players. She's got a single pistol, so she's going to shoot. She has no skill, so it's going to be a straight-up dex. So that's an 8. Yeah, you've always got the one that can't do anything. 9, 10, 11. Okay, so nothing. All right, so that's the end of the first turn. And now we have initiative again. Again, black is the bear. Okay, so the bear now says it attacks the closest target. Pretty much everybody is at equal distance away, so I'm just going to roll a dice to see which he goes after. If it was an intelligent creature, well, not intelligent, a higher thinking creature. Probably go after the same target as before. This is just a bear. He's hungry. He wants to eat. So we're just going to go 1, 5, or 6 is, of course, a rollover. 3. So 1, 2. The one person who can't really do much. All right. So now let me look up dodging real quick. Let's see. For counter, what's that called? Counterattack. Can I even? You know what? I may not be able to dodge in the Western one. Pass a check, play a game. That may only be in the fantasy. Fighting. Okay. Oh yeah, you can react. You can dodge, counterattack, or tackle his attacker. So we're going to dodge. Defender dodges by passing 3dx. He must then move to an empty adjacent hex, or he cannot dodge. He can see the attacker's hit roll, but not the damage roll before deciding to dodge. A defender cannot dodge a missile weapon. Good to know. Okay, so yeah. Well, the bear's going to try to nom on Jane. So he needs an 11. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, she's going to try to dodge. Now, by doing the dodge, she forgoes her next attack. So I get 3 dex, which is an 8. I have a feeling 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh! Wow! Okay, we're going to go dodge back this way. So she forgoes her option, or she forgoes her attack. Let's see. We'll just go ahead and do pretty much the same thing again. He's going to do his 2 pistol shots. Try to speed up combat here a little bit. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Nope. The Sharps rifle is reloading. So he's going to actually take a step back to reload. And then what's-her-face with the shotgun's got the second barrel. She's going to unload. 7, 8, that's a hit. 3d6. So, ooh, that's a good one. 15, 13 after the armor. 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, we're only up to about 25 points of damage. Not good. Did I do both attacks with him? I think I did both attacks with him. I think they were both misses. Or did I only do 1 attack? I think I only did 1 attack. I'll realize when I go back and watch the video. 11, 12, 13. Nope, miss anyways. Alright, so 3rd round of combat. Initiative. Black dice is the bear again. Tied. Roll over. Okay, so this time we get to go first. And you notice because Jane dodged, she didn't get to get her action. Actually, yeah, she's got the pistol. Alright, so I get to go first. This time, Clint's going to still be reloading the Sharps. She's going to be reloading the shotgun. I'm going to say it shouldn't take more than 1 round, but it's taking 3 rounds to reload the Sharps, so we'll say 3 rounds to reload the shotgun as well. Dude is going to fire both his pistols again. 9, 10, 11. Oops. Nope. And 10, 11, 12. Nope. So that leaves Jane to shoot with her single shot at an 8. Yeah, dexterity is kind of important if you want to shoot at things. So there's nothing there. So now the bear gets attacked. The barrow's going to go after its closest target. So that's going to be after John. And versus an 11, that's a hit. He's going to try to dodge. His dodge is a 10. 9, 10. Woo! I'm getting lucky. Coming up on the 25-minute mark, so I'm going to go ahead and stop and restart, and you probably won't even notice the pause. See, I told you. You didn't even notice the pause. All right, so initiative again. This is turn 4. Okay, we got it. So Clint is going to open up with Sharps again. We've got a 12. He's going to apply his skill to hit, so 14. There we go, 10, 11, 12. That's going to be 2d6 plus what? 2d6 plus 1. So we've got 9, 10, 9, 8 for the armor. Well, the hide, not really the armor. So he'll go ahead and unload with both pistols again, looking for 10s. 6, 7, 8. There's 1 hit. And and 6, 7, 8, 2 hits. All right, and 2d6 minus. I'll do a little bit of a geeky gun thing. The Sharps rifle does 2d6 plus 1, but was a 52 caliber. The Colt that we're using, the 1851 Navy, was a 36 caliber and does 2d6 minus 1. So really only 2 points of damage difference between, a quarter of an inch round size, roughly. But, it is what it is. So 2d6 plus 1, 2d6 plus 1, so we get to roll twice. Actually, it's going to be minus 3 because of the hide. 11, 10, 9, 8, which I actually think is going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's actually going to finish it off. All right. So, yay, we killed the bear. And since we survived a round of combat, that gives us another XP, so we're going to go ahead and jot that down. Now, had I taken any damage, I could have used my medic skill. But since my guys were already wounded at the beginning of the fight, kind of like I said, I'm not going to let a person use the medic skill to heal more than they had at the beginning of the fight. That could have gone really bad. The simple fact that the bear has a 3d6 damage, and basically none of my guys have a damage mitigating, and I'm looking at 10 hit point or 9 hit points, 12. That bear could have easily killed one of my characters. Not good. All right, so go on to 39. Okay, do you skin the bear, stretch and dry its hide? Do you pry out teeth and claws as souvenirs? You know what? We'll do both. We'll skin the bear, stretch and dry its hide, and pry out the teeth and claws souvenirs. And if you notice with both of them, it gives me keywords, bear skin and souvenirs. So we'll go ahead and write those down. Bear skin and souvenirs. And those are 2 keywords, so I get 2 XP out of that. And return to 35. All right, high in the mountains. Okay, spent the night. All right, so we'll basically assume that's going to be the day. So we're going to start my next day. Let me go ahead and mark down my time. So I got nowhere else to go except for go down. What is it? Climb down to the canyon to the east, which is where I came from originally. So we go down that way. 30. Do I have to do the rock damage again? No, I'm not gonna do that again. Okay, so that was basically a dead end. So I'm gonna have to go back down to the Smith farm. So basically, I woke up the next morning. Well, I don't know how much sleep I got, but playing with the bear the next morning. So we'll go down to the canyon, which is one location for the day. I believe that's how it works. Then go back to the Smith farm for the second location of the day. Let me see exactly about time. Oh, a mounted party can visit 2 locations per day. A walking party can visit 1. Party must dismount while in the mountains. Oopsie. A party must camp for the night. Following encounters in the last location. Yeah, all right. All right, so regardless, it looks like it's going to take me another day to get back down to Smith Farm. So we'll go ahead and mark off a day and go ahead and mark off some rations. But I think it gives me the option, if I remember correctly, last time I was at Smith Farm. Okay, examine the house and sleep here for the night. Okay, so since we're going to go ahead and tie up our horses outside and sleep here for the night. Okay. After weeks of travel, it is a luxury indeed to sleep inside. You lay out your blanket and load your gear, making yourselves comfortable. Before you know it, you are sound asleep. Until frantic whining betrays startled horses outside. You grab your weapons and charge outside. You were at H. And 6 hungry wolves surround the horses at I. So let's go ahead. There's a horsey there, and there's a horsey there. And 6 hungry wolves. Where's my wolves at? 6 wolves. Alright. So let's go ahead and mark down. Wolves are Strength 10, Dex 11, IQ of an 8, and a bite of a D6. All right, so definitely not as bad as the bear, and much fewer hit points. As soon as you come out, the wolves shift their attention to you. If the wolves flee within 5 turns, your horses are fine. Otherwise, one horse is dead. Wolves will not return for the night. But there was also something I did remember reading. Wolves flee an encounter if they take 1/2 their strength and damage. If 2 wolves flee, the rest of the pack flees as well. All right. So let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead and put a wolf there. Put a wolf there. Put a wolf there. And there. And there. All right. There's the wolves. And the rest of the party, since I got to be adjacent, move the first one out. All right, we got that set up, and let's go ahead and roll for initiative. 2-2. Oops, we should shift it over a little bit. 4-5. All right, so I win initiative, so I can move. I need to get out of the way for the rest of my party to be able to get out. So he's going to come here. He's going to fire off his sharps at wolf number 4. And he is going to actually apply his skill to his to hit. So he needs a 14, 11, 12, 13, 14. Hey, there we go. Good. 2d6 plus 1 damage. 9, 10. That actually flat out kills one of them. So there's one of the wolves gone. And let's see. So next we got Clint. He's going to step 1, 2, 3. And yeah, he's going to do his same thing of dual wielding the pistols. And he'll go ahead and fire at that wolf. So he'll need, since he's dual wielding, he's got a dex of 12. 12, 13, 14. Clint can't hit shit. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he hit for 2d6 minus 1. That's a 9, 8, which is going to be more than half damage. So he's going to run off. What did it say about... Let's see, 6. Okay. If 2 wolves flee, the rest of the pack flees as well. That doesn't make sense. Well, I suppose if he's dead, it's considered to have fled. But anyway, still my turn. So she's going to step out. Oh, she's got the shotgun, doesn't she? You know what? I'm not even going to bother firing the shotgun just because it could hit the horses. And she's going to pop her nose out the door and fire off a pistol. So she needs an 8. So 3, 4, 5. Ooh, she hits. 2d6 minus 1. So 6, 7, 6, which is more than half, which is going to cause it to flee. And during the wolves' turn, since there are 2 dead and 1 wounded to flee, the rest of the wolves flee. They run away. Woo! Yay! And I didn't lose a horse. Yay! I don't want to lose horses. Losing horses is bad. Alright, so I won that fight, so that gives me another experience point. And, let's see, where does that go back to? It was 6. Let's see, go back to paragraph 6. Wolves are not returned this night, and we're back at 3, so it's going to be the next morning. And that, boys and girls, is a basic look and an idea of how the gameplay flows for Dark City Games Solitaire Adventures. This one has been Blood in the Dust. I don't want to give too much away, because if you see too much, then you're not going to want to buy it, but hopefully I've whetted your appetite enough to make you want to go out and buy it. So check them out, Dark City Games. I will probably be doing a follow-up video, or not a follow-up video, but a video again here real soon. I know, I say, a couple days, 2 weeks later I get a video out. But I have got in mind the next game I'm going to do, and I want to do kind of a little premiere, well, not really premiere, kind of an unboxing to show basically the madness that I'm getting into with the next one. yeah, that's all I got. I hope everybody enjoyed. I know this was a little bit different than the original Grognard's normal fare. So, just let me know questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms in the comment section. I'll see everybody later. See ya!